Going live here.
Okay.
Yep, we are live.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. This was supposed to be our Monday mindset, but it's Tuesday because Facebook was shut down yesterday. So I have Liz here with me today, and we are going to be talking about a few things that we have just kind of been observing in conversation with women this week, both in the Happy Hormones group, but also just in this group in general, conversations that I've been having that we feel like are really important, especially because you guys have an amazing opportunity coming up this Thursday to join the masterclass. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about really understanding what our symptoms mean and how when we don't understand what's going on in our bodies, that can lead to a lot of trial and error and frustration and wasted time and wasted money. I know a lot of the time, by the time women find me and they book a breakthrough call with me, they have spent a lot of money and they have wasted a lot of time, and none of it's their fault. So do you want to share a little bit? I know you've shared your story, in large part in different videos, but what do you feel like is kind of the thing that keeps people stuck? Like, what do you feel like is that kept you stuck when you were kind of at the beginning of your hormone journey?
I think the biggest factor was that I didn't know that this wasn't normal. Like I was told all throughout since I started my period that this is what I can expect every month. And I just had to deal with it. And if my symptoms were worse one month over the other, it was because I was overweight. And I remember going to doctor's appointments and asking them questions like, well, what is this telling me about my body? And they would be on the internet, like looking up in this like doctor portal, of course. But
Right.
I was like, well, I can do that. So why am I here and what am I paying for? And I remember like birth control would be the option, or, like just going on a diet or getting more sleep and just all these things. So I started to feel like, well, this is normal. And especially when I started my hormone journey with you, I was experiencing mood swings for the first time in my life. And I
Mm,
felt like this raging lunatic. And I'm like, something's wrong with me because I can't handle basic daily life. And so there's something wrong with my mindset, or maybe I'm struggling with
mm,
anxiety. And I just felt like it was just all me and I just wasn't holding things together because the doctor said everything was normal. It was just a
right.
weight issue. So I think that was the most frustrating for me
Yeah.
and not feeling empowered to do anything about it.
Absolutely. And I think I think as women it's really kind of funny because my daughter and I love watching the show Call the Midwife. And I love the show, one, because it's about nurse midwives, and so I love like the medical aspect of it. But I've been observing how different the medical care was then, like not even the medical care, because I'm not talking about this from like a scientific discovery standpoint. I'm talking about this from the difference in how they empowered women to care for their bodies was very, very different than our medical system now. And so
Mhm.
these changes don't just happen overnight. Like these changes in a medical community, they happen over a really long period of time. So for our generation of women in our, 30s to 40s, kind of that window, we have been trained to believe that having painful periods, mood swings, irritability, fatigue, that's all normal, and there's really only one solution, and that solution is birth control, or it's getting a hysterectomy depending on like how extreme your symptoms are. And
Yeah.
there's very, very little digging that
Mhm.
goes into helping women to understand, if you're having these symptoms, this is actually what that means.
Mhm.
And I know for myself, and you kind of touched on that a little bit, you start to kind of feel crazy. Like, I'm crazy. I feel a little bit crazy, like that week before my cycle, right? But then I feel crazy for not being okay with it.
Mhm. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because you go to the doctor and they're telling you, well, these are your two solutions, or everybody in your family has menstrual migraines, or everybody in
Mhm.
your family has heavy periods. It must just be genetic. And that's just not true. And so then you're just stuck in crazy town and none of it's your fault.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I know for myself and for a lot of the women that I talk to, it's the worst feeling,
Mhm. Yeah.
because then that's where I think we lose that sense of feeling like we're the owners of our bodies, right?
Right.
Or that we can actually partner and say, okay, well, God made my body and
Mhm.
I'm supposed to be living in wholeness and health and wellness. And so I should be frustrated with this. This should
Right.
not be something that I'm tolerating.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that like resonates with you at all, but I know that's been
Yes.
a lot of the conversations that I've been having, and it's why we're having the masterclass on Thursday, because we're actually going to be diving in to really like what your symptoms mean and what are they telling you, because when you have that information, that's when you can start to take some action in feeling better.
Mhm.
Otherwise, what do we end up doing? What are some of the things that you had tried, or that you're seeing, women in the happy hormones program, sorry, have tried to um, get rid of their symptoms? Because I know what I had done, but I'm curious like what you've seen for yourself and for other people.
To get rid of my symptoms.
Yeah. Because
Um,
when you don't understand them, like
yeah.
you kind of just, it's like throwing anything in there, right? To try to
Right.
get yourself to
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah. I mean, with my mood swings, it was like, do I need anxiety meds? Do I need to like like depressants? Like that's what my dad was on. So I'm like, this must be hereditary. Like my mom, she had a hysterectomy at my age because she had endometriosis, and that was the only option the doctor gave her.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, you can expect that to happen to you. And so I was like, this can't be the answer. And for me, like I started to blame relationships in my family, like, oh, I must be feeling this way because I'm not getting support this way. And
Mhm.
so I would try like working things out in my relationships, like maybe that'll fix how I'm feeling inside. I would try, I mean, pretty much like at the points that we started working together, I pretty much just gave up. And I was like scheduling my life around my period. I was just planning 3 days out of the month of just in the fetal position with a heating pack because I couldn't get out of bed. And I just walked around with all this shame and guilt because I'm like, it's because I'm so overweight and
Mhm.
I just have to lose weight. So I would try dieting. I tried intermittent fasting. Because that's all that they were telling me to do. And I really was just in this hopeless place of feeling like I needed to have all my ducks in a row to be able to get any type of relief or
Yep.
go on medication, which I did not want to do. So it
Yeah.
was just a really big struggle.
Absolutely. It's still, I mean, this is, the majority of women that I talk to, it's the same thing. And it's that same, like, where do I find the information and how do I know if there's a blog post about maca powder? Like, how do I know that's
Right.
for me? Because like, if you have adrenal fatigue issues, that can actually cause panic attacks and like cortisol dumps. And so if you don't know what the actual issue is, how can you treat it? And
Mhm.
so that's one of the things that we're actually going to be talking about at the masterclass on Thursday. So if you have not registered for the masterclass, I'm going to have you raise your hand or drop a comment below and we will help get you registered. We do only have about 5 spots left. Because we are limiting the training this month to 50 people, because I really want to make sure that we're able to adequately help all of the people that join. So if you haven't registered, you want to do that like ASAP. But also within that, I'm going to drop the link once you raise your hand and we reach out to you. Then I'm also going to give you a form that I want you to fill out. Super easy to fill out form, but it's going to help you to start putting the pieces together on what your symptoms mean, so that when we do the training on Thursday, you're going to have a much better idea of what's going on in your body. Um, And then within that, I totally just lost my train of thought. This is what happens when I have coffee. Don't have coffee, Andrea. No. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Good thing I made a note to myself. We actually have an amazing, amazing, amazing bonus for you guys. So when you join the masterclass on Thursday, you're also going to get our cycle tracking guide. So this is currently only available to those who are in the Hormone Wellness Academy. So this is where we are teaching you how to track your cycle, what your symptoms mean, what different symptom patterns mean, because patterns are more important than your symptoms alone. And it's really, really important that you guys understand what that means. So lots of freebies, lots of amazing goodness for those of you that register for this masterclass. And we are excited to get your power back so that you can start feeling your best and not feel so crazy like, you know, I know Liz and myself did, and thankfully we no longer do. So thank you so much for sharing, Liz, today. And what is one, since it's called Monday Mindset, I feel like we kind of have to tie in mindset into this as well. What is one thing that you would say to those who are kind of like where you are right now? What is a little mindset shift that you would encourage people to chew on or think about if they're in that same spot that you kind of described?
I think that I think especially being on the other side of things, that there is a hope that you can do something about it, and taking the time to educate yourself and really go after a proactive approach in your health is so important, especially in the times that we're living in. Like we can't afford to not make time for that. And especially when there is free resources available to at least start somewhere.
Yeah.
To where at least you're getting the answers and educating yourself on what your body is telling you. Like that was just huge for me, just from the very little that I had started with, that started my journey in my own hormone health. Like just even getting that first initial step of, I can do something about this. That was huge.
Amazing. No, I love that. And I love what you said about just take that first step, take all the freebies you can get, guys, because that's what we're here for. We're here to train and equip and empower. And so we want to see you there on Thursday. So if you've not registered, again, just drop a hashtag me or an emoji, and we will reach out to you and make sure that you get one of those last few remaining spots. So thank you so much for your time today, Liz. Thank you for your wisdom. And we'll see you guys on Thursday.